I'm Byron Johnson with Coordinated Power. Just want to share something we've been working on recently called the Settings Assistant. Basically, what this is it is a user interface and a lot of various code tools, Python tools, drivers like DMP drivers, Modbus drivers, all wrapped around a core LLM. For anyone unfamiliar with an LLM, think an AI like ChatGPT. Okay, so the LLM at the core knows about the tools that it has available at its disposal, and then you can chat with it and it can know when to call the tools and what things it can do. So over here on the left, you can see some quick actions. You can also type them just as a slash, like down here. We have full Python engine for calculating relay settings based off of our typical best practice set points for various situations. The LLM has access to that and can call various endpoints to actually calculate all of the settings. It can even run the TCC plots against transformer damage curves and everything needed to produce the settings. Also, for context, we have exported SCL 351S files, all the common relays, 387Es, 451s. Also, the same goes for RTACs, where we have exported those as examples to XML. The LLM doesn't have to create anything from scratch. All it has to do is modify the templates that it has. Now, also, in addition to tools for calculating settings, reviewing settings, also reviewing event files, this can pull and read through ComTrade files or the CEV files from Schweitzer relays. It can parse all the data in it, see which bits toggled, and give you a first pass on what it thinks happened. So other drivers that we have DMP drivers, Modbus drivers, Telnet drivers that the LLM can use to talk to the relays themselves, and also Y modem protocol drivers, which is what Schweitzer usually uses to send and receive settings files. So if you wanted, you could have the LLM fully develop the settings file and even push it to a relay. We would advise caution, as this is a new product, so we need to be certain of what we're doing here. But anytime you're generating settings files, you can always compare it in Quickset with a known example and see exactly what it changed. Schweitzer files are typically TXT files under the hood, so if the LLM can modify those TXT files and push them back, you've got quite a powerful tool here. Here's a working directory where you can see your files in action. Here's a DMP, an RTAC file that it was making, device scans. These are pretty cool. You can see here where it had scanned through to see what Modbus was going on. This is just a test example. We found one register open for Modbus, nothing open for DMP. It can find the Indianness and all kinds of things it can do in scanning to see comms protocols and what is configured on there. So just more example of all the power that LLMs can prove and add to your workflow if you give them all the right context. Another thing that I didn't mention is when you're in the command line with a relay, maybe you forgot some of the commands for that version of relay. Maybe it's a 451 and you forgot a certain command. You can ask the LLM and it might tell you. You could also tell it to just run it, and it could telnet to it and run it if it has the IP information and all that. So the possibilities are fairly endless with a tool of this type, and we'll be improving this and talking about it more upcoming. So stay tuned and we'll share more as we develop this further. Thank you.